Hi everyone, welcome back to Java Full Stack Flow. In today's video, we will learn one of the most frequently asked Java interview questions. What is builder design pattern? Let's understand the builder design pattern. Builder design pattern is a creational design pattern that constructs complex objects step by step. Now let's understand what this means. Builder pattern is one of the creational design patterns and its main purpose is object creation. But instead of creating a complex object in a single step using a constructor with many parameters, it creates the object gradually, one step at a time. For example, imagine we are creating an employee object. Instead of passing name, email, phone, department, address, salary, and many other values in a constructor, we first set the name, then the email, then the phone, and finally call build method. Only then is the employee object created. That's why we say the builder pattern constructs complex objects step by step. Next, it separates the object construction process from the final object representation, making the code more readable and flexible. What this means? This is another advantage in builder pattern. The responsibilities of creating the object is given to the builder class. Example, the employee class is only responsible for representing employee data. So both classes have different responsibilities. Because of this separation, the code becomes much cleaner. If tomorrow we need to change the object creation logic, we only modify the builder class. The employee class remains unchanged. This improves both code readability and flexibility. In simple words, instead of using a constructor with many parameters, we build the object step by step and creating it at the end. This is the easiest way to remember builder pattern. Instead of passing many parameters in one constructor, we create the object step by step and finally call build method. Examples are employee object, user registration, car configuration, pizza order. These are common real world scenarios where builder pattern is useful. For example, in user registration, some fields are mandatory while other are optional. In car configuration, customer chooses the engine, color, transmission and features one by one before the car is built. In pizza order, you first select the size, then the crust, then the topping and finally places the order. Similarly, builder pattern collects the required information first and creates the final object at the end. Next, now let's understand why we need the builder pattern. Let's quickly look at the advantages. Avoids constructors with too many parameters. If a constructor has many parameters, it's difficult to remember their order. Builder pattern avoids this problem. Next, makes object creation easy and readable. Here the code becomes easy to understand because we set each value meaningful methods like name, email and phone. Next, creates immutable objects. Once the object is created, its values unchanged, making it more secure and reliable. Next point is allows optional parameters. If a field is optional, we simply don't call that builder method. Next is improves code maintainability. If we add a new field in the feature, we only update the builder class. The rest of the code remains unchanged. Next, follows single responsibility principle. The builder class is responsible for object creation while the employee class represents the data. These are the main reasons why builder pattern is widely used in real-world Java applications. Next, how does it work? Now let's understand how the builder pattern works using this flow diagram. First point is client creates the builder. First look at the client. The client wants to create an employee object. But instead of creating the employee object directly using the new keyword, the client first creates an employee builder. Why? Because the builder is responsible for collecting all the required information before creating the object. Next, step 2 is builder object is created. The builder object is responsible for collecting all the required information before creating the final employee object. At this stage, the employee object is not created yet. Next, third step is set values step by step. Now, the builder starts collecting the required values. In our example, we provide the name, email, phone, department, and location one by one. This is the biggest advantage of the builder pattern. We don't have to pass everything in a single constructor. Next, fourth step is build method is called. Once all the required values are set, we call the build method. This is the important step. When build method is called, the builder takes all the collected values and creates the final employee object. Next, fifth step is final object is returned. Finally, the full constructor employee object is returned to the client. Now the client can use this object in the application. So the complete flow is very simple. The client requests the object, the builder object is created, values are set step by step, the build method is creates the object, and finally completed object is returned to the client. This is how builder pattern works. Next is simple code example. Now let's understand how to implement the builder design pattern in Java. In a simple way, we are creating an employee object with only 5 fields: name, email, phone, department, and location. Let's understand the code step by step. First is employee class. Let's understand the employee class. This is the class whose object we want to create using the builder pattern. Inside this class, we have 5 final fields: name, email, phone, department, and location. Notice here all fields are declared as final. This means once the object is created, these values can't change. Now look at the constructor. Instead of accepting parameters like name, email, phone, department, and location, it accepts a builder object. Inside the constructor, the values stored in the builder are copied into the employee object. So the employee class is simply represents the employee object, while the builder class is responsible for creating it. Next, now let's move to the builder class. This is the most important class in the builder pattern. The builder class also contains the same fields: name, email, phone, department, and location. Next, we have methods like name, email, phone, department, and location methods. Each method sets the corresponding value and return this. Why do we return this? Because it allows us to use method chaining. That means we can write name, email, phone, department, and location instead of calling each method separately. Finally, we have build method. This method creates and returns the final employee object. This is where the actual object creation happens. Next, now let's see how the client uses the builder. First, the client creates a new employee.builder. Then it sets the required values by calling the name, email, phone, department, and location methods. Finally, it calls the build method. Once build method is executed, the builder creates the employee object and returns it. The client doesn't create the employee object directly. It simply uses the builder. Finally, the output shows The employee object with values are provided. We can see the name, email, phone, department and location printed successfully. This confirms that the builder pattern object created successfully. Next is interview ready answer. If interviewer asks what is builder design pattern, you can say builder design pattern is a creational design pattern used to create complex objects step by step. Instead of using constructors with many parameters, it uses a builder class to set the required and optional values before creating the final object. This improves code readability, maintainability, and flexibility. It is commonly used in Java, Spring Boot, Lombok Builder Annotation, and REST API request objects. That's all about builder design pattern. If you found this video is helpful, please subscribe my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram for more real-time Java full stack interview questions. Thank you.